It's 3 a.m. leaving for my trip to Bermuda.
If you're watching this, I want to tell you something. You are worth it. Not when you lose the weight, not when someone chooses you, not when your finances improve. Stop waiting. Beautiful, you are worth it right now. And if you've forgotten that, I understand. There was a time when I forgot who I was too. For years, I was listening to other people's perspectives about who I was and seeing myself through their eyes primarily. Their actions or inactions towards me, their neglect, their criticisms of me, their indifferences. Little by little, I started seeing myself through other people's eyes instead of my own. I stopped trusting in myself. I stopped believing in myself. I stopped seeing my own worth and believing in my own intelligence. I didn't know my own strength. I had become disconnected from who I really was. And the saddest part is that I didn't even realize it was happening when I was in the middle of it. I thought I was seeing myself clearly, but I wasn't. I was looking at myself through the lens of people who didn't even take the time to know themselves. And when people can't see your worth, if you're not careful, you'll start questioning whether you have any. By the end of that chapter of my life, I felt small. I felt invisible and unimportant. I hid my inner longing and desires for a bigger life. I stopped dreaming and started believing that there was more for me. And to be perfectly honest, there were moments when the depression almost got the best of me. The negative self-talk almost drowned me. I fought the hopelessness daily. I had days when it felt easier to give up than to keep going. But something inside of me would just not let me quit. Something inside of me refused to completely surrender. There was something inside that kept whispering there had to be a better life waiting for me. And I'm so glad I kept going.
Yeah, yeah.
I started to let myself dream again. I powered through a difficult conversation I was afraid to have, and I set a boundary with people who overstepped them. One tiny act of self-respect at a time. And slowly, something started happening. I wasn't becoming someone new. I was becoming myself. The woman who got on a plane and took herself to Bermuda for her birthday. The woman I had buried under years of self-doubt and self-neglect began to slowly appear. The woman who was curious about life. The woman who was adventurous. The woman who decided to get on a plane and take herself out for her birthday to a new place because she deserved it. When I took this trip to Bermuda, it was the first time I had ever traveled outside of the country completely by myself. And standing there on those beautiful beaches, meeting new people, exploring new places, running in a race, I realized something. The trip was not changing me. The trip was revealing me. like a butterfly leaving a cocoon. The process wasn't beautiful while it was happening. The process was painful. There were many lonely days. It was confusing. There were many, many tears. There was fear and so much uncertainty in my life. But the cocoon was never meant to be my home, and neither was the version of myself that had forgotten her worth. That's what I want every person listening to this to know. You are not the worst thing someone said about you. You are not the way someone treated you. You are not the rejection. You are not the neglect. You are not the criticisms that you hear from them or even inside of your own head. You are not the limitations that someone else has projected onto your life. You are so much bigger than that. You are so much more powerful than that. You are so much more beautiful than that, inside and out. You are capable of chasing your dreams and turning them into reality. Maybe the reason you're hurting right now is because the person you've been settling for is smaller than who you were ever meant to be. So, take the trip. Go on the journey of self-discovery. Learn to trust yourself again. Remember who you were before you started to let self-doubt creep in. Wear the thing that makes you feel happy. Start the business. Go to the event, even if you have to go alone. But most of all, say yes to yourself, because your life is waiting. And one day, you'll look back and realize something that changed everything for me. You were never broken. You are not too old. You are not too late. You were never unworthy. You simply spent too much time listening to voices that didn't recognize your value. The moment everything began to change was the moment I stopped accepting other people's opinions as the truth about who I was. And maybe that's where your new life begins too. If you are on your own journey of self-discovery, subscribe and join the community, and let me know in the comments what is one thing you're doing for yourself this week.